Hello everyone, today I'm going to be heading to Ushiya Grill, which recently opened in Milpitas and has already become extremely popular for their $55 all-you-can-eat Wagyu Yakiniku. Yakiniku is Japanese barbecue where you grill your own meats, and personally, it's one of my favorite ways to enjoy Wagyu. I am absolutely starving now and I brought my appetite, and they have many different types of Wagyu on the menu, and my goal is to try every single cut that they have, so let's go. I just made it here to Ushiya Grill, and I made sure to select the proper menu because they have two menus here. They have a $35 menu, which doesn't come with any Wagyu, and then they have the $55 menu, which comes with both Australian Wagyu and American Wagyu, and that's the one I ordered. To order, all you have to do is scan a QR code on the table with your phone, and then you can order up to 6 meats at a time. So I'm just going to be starting off with 5 meats first. While I'm waiting for my meat to come out, I'm going to start off with their cabbage salad, which they already had at the table waiting for me. Oh, this is delicious, and it's gonna go great with the meat. I love how fresh their cabbage is. It's really thin and crisp, and the sauce is great as well. The dressing is a little tangy, and it tastes like there's a bit of a bite to it since it's like a horseradish dressing. This cabbage salad is definitely gonna come in clutch with all the meat because it's definitely gonna help cut through some of the richness of the Wagyu. I got all the meat. It all looks so amazing, but I want to start off with the brisket since it looks marinated. It smells really nice like a sweet teriyaki, and it's cut perfectly thin. So we gotta put it on this burning hot grill. And look at that. It's literally flaming hot, and it's just sizzling away almost instantly. And it already looks like it's just about ready to flip. And we gotta carefully just peel this off because we don't want it to tear since it's so tender. And look at that. That's just like the most beautiful sight in the world. It's got the perfect grill marks. And just like that, that is perfectly cooked and finished off. So I'm just gonna peel this off and give this Wagyu brisket a taste. And here we go. This is the start of my all-you-can-eat Wagyu journey. Oh, the brisket is delicious. I love the chew that you get with it, and it's got so much flavor since it's been marinated. It's just like a sweet and savory teriyaki sauce, and I love the oily taste of meat, but it's not overly rich either. Next one I want to go for is the shoulder cut, and this one looks even more fatty and marbled. And look at that, the flames are just licking the meat. It just looks so tantalizing as it cooks along. And seriously, it's already pretty much time to flip the first one because it just cooks so quick. It's like almost instant. Because this looks like a pretty marble cut, I'm gonna try the shoulder cut plain first. Oh, that is delicious. It definitely has that Wagyu taste. It's slightly buttery and rich and oily. I love all the fat in here, and now I'm gonna get it with some sauce, just a little. I'm just gonna get a little bit of miso sauce and have that as a dipping sauce for my meat. Here we go, shoulder cut with miso sauce. Oh, that shoulder cut with the miso sauce is simply fantastic. I love that the miso sauce is really savory and slightly sweet, so it really enhances the natural umami flavors of the meat itself, and it doesn't overwhelm the taste of the meat at all. It's just the best compliment possible. Next, I want to go for the tongue, which I'm really excited about it because I love Wagyu tongue. It just looks so fatty, and typically tongue is a more lean and slightly chewy cut, but I think in this case, it'll be very tender and fatty. Here we go. Here's a bite of our tongue. Oh, that is great. You can definitely tell it's Wagyu tongue because the meat is just fatty and it's just marbled with ripples of fat. And it definitely has a texture more similar to the brisket, so it's got a little bit of a chew, but it's not nearly as chewy as your typical beef tongue, so I definitely enjoy that cut as well. This beef tongue is just such a real star. It's just so underrated because it's got such a rich beefy flavor. Next is this Wagyu short rib, which is one of my favorite all-time cuts of Wagyu Yakiniku. Here we go. I think it's finally ready to flip since it's a really nice thick cut. And because it's a thick cut, we can get a really beautiful char on this meat. Alright, this took a little bit of time, but I think it's going to be worth it. I just ordered the next wave of meat, and the meat marathon continues. I'm going to be starting off with this zabuton, and I'm not sure exactly what this is. It's almost like a mystery meat, but it does look pretty solid. All right, let's go for this zabuton now. I'm pretty curious. Oh, the zabuton is a nice welcome change. It's definitely a leaner cut of meat while still being extremely juicy and tender, but it's not overly fatty or oily either. Next, I'm going to be doing the hanging tender, which is another marinated meat, so I'm sure this will be very flavorful. Here we go. This is the hanging tender. Oh, that's one of the best ones I've had so far. That hanging tender is very, very tender, so it lives up to the name, and it's also extremely lean, so I love this, not too heavy, and the marinade is just amazing. It's that same sweet teriyaki that I got with the brisket. I mean, I just have this small mountain of meat on my plate, and I feel like I'm just going to finish it in a few bites because it's so tasty. Next one, we have the top cut, and I'm looking forward to this one because there's this huge thick strip of fat. And look at that, the fat is just stoking the flames of the fire, and the meat is already curling up because of how hot it's getting. And just like that, we're good to flip. Here we go. Okay, I'll be honest, the top cut isn't my most favorite. The meat itself is very lean, but then you just get the strip of fat running through it, which is very heavy, and it's a little bit too overwhelming, so I wish there was a little bit more marbling, and I think I'd probably pass on this one next time. For the next meat, this is the skirt steak, and this is another marinated meat, so I already know I'm gonna like it. Here we go, this is the skirt steak. Oh, this skirt steak is pretty solid. It's definitely got a nice fattiness. This one's definitely better marbled. However, I think the previous marinated meat I thought was a little bit better, which I thought was actually the hanging tender, but apparently it was something else. Don't know exactly what it was, but that one was just slightly better. I've almost made it to the end of my meat journey. This is what I believe to actually be the hanging tender, since I got a couple of them confused earlier. And this one is again marinated, and it looks very fatty and delicious. Here we go, here's the hanging tender. Okay, I was right. This does taste very familiar because this is the hanging tender. So it turns out they gave us 2 hanging tenders by accident, but I'm okay because I like to call that a happy accident since this is one of my favorite cuts. Definitely, this is the most tender marinated meat, and it delivers on both the flavor and the meat quality. I'm nearing the end of my meat marathon, and this is when the going gets really hard because everything starts to kind of taste the same since you've been eating so much meat. And this is an order they brought out a little bit late. This is the Ushiya Farms finger rib, and this is a seasonal meat, so I know this one is going to be A+. Here's the Ushiya Ranch finger rib. I know this has to be good because Oishi means delicious in Japanese, so this just has to be top of the line. Wow, that is fantastic. I think that is just about as close as you're going to get to Japanese A5 Wagyu without actually getting A5 Wagyu, because that is fatty, it is rich, it is intense. It's just like an explosion of meat juice. I mean, at this point, you might as well be drinking your meat at this point. And this is just like meat candy. It's just so sweet and flavorful. I love this so much, but you gotta be careful. I feel like every bite of this I take takes a year off of my life. This is the final meat. This is the seasonal Stone Axe Farm rib finger, and this looks ridiculous. This just looks like pure cubes of beef fat. I mean, this looks fattier than some A5 Wagyu I've seen, so I feel like each bite of this might take 10 years off my life, but either way, we just gotta go ahead and grill this up. Here we go, the final meat, the Stone Axe Farms rib finger. I feel like I've already fallen into a meat coma already, but I'm gonna do my best just to finish my plate full of meat, including this rib finger. I'll be honest, that was even a little bit too much for me. This is for a real hardcore meat eater. To me, it just tastes like the fat trimmings in the meat. So it really just tastes like you're eating fat. It doesn't even really taste like meat anymore. And for me, that's kind of when you cross the line with Wagyu. So for me, I wouldn't really recommend it unless you want something really intense. In my opinion, if they have their seasonal meats, you definitely gotta try the Ushiya Farms rib finger, because that was definitely my favorite meat. I just finished up here and I got the craziest food coma in the history of food comas because I just ate so much Wagyu. If you're looking for a tasty and fun yakiniku experience, I definitely recommend checking out Ushiya Grill. I feel like for the price point, it's really decent because I know $55 is a lot of money, but if I was just to go to a regular yakiniku restaurant on my own that isn't $55 a person, I would probably order enough meat to cost maybe more than $55. So definitely here with getting that Wagyu, that Australian and American Wagyu, I definitely feel like I'm getting my money's worth. My top tip is to make sure to come here early. I got here just before 11:30 and I was barely able to get seated since it was so crowded. So I would definitely recommend getting here really early, maybe like 11, and then waiting, because right now I'm just looking outside and there's people waiting outside, there's people waiting inside, and I can definitely see why this is a really hot spot. And as always, I really hope you all enjoyed the video. Make sure if you did to give it a like, and also make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.